And we are back. Once again, for those of you just tuning in, my name is Kellen. My name is Kellen. This is Just Corey.
Just Corey.
Yep, that's it. Just Corey. So, it was cool. It was cool to go out and talk to some of the players after the first round. Some spicy games. Fun fact: Nezahal here with Cole, just otherwise known as Just Ice on Discord, won with combat.
Well, he prefaced it and said that he didn't win with combat. He won with a walking ballista on 4, and the last 2 players were on 1 life. So he just pinged them down to last life. But it was basically combat damage with walking ballista.
I mean, that's good enough, man. Just Absolutely. To say you won with mono blue combat in a cEDH tournament. That's nice.
The fact that we're playing Nezahal in cEDH baffles me. Nezahal in cEDH is great, but Nezahal as the commander in cEDH
but Cole's already, he's been known for that, right? Like, he does these spicy builds. Like, he does do Kinnan. He has run other, and like Atali, which is another big one that's been coming around lately. But Cole has brought some pretty spicy stuff. And it's funny because we were talking to him not that long ago about, like, players who have won tournaments and placed in tournaments or like, different decks. He's up there with, like, some of the more, like, well-known players, like Comedian, who has, like, notoriously won with almost every deck he's played.
Absolutely.
Justice is not far behind him. Like, maybe he's not as well-known, but he has won a lot of games with a lot of decks.
With a lot of obscure decks, too. The fact that he won round 1 with Nezahal, like I was saying, that's crazy. No, you told me that somebody was bringing Nezahal, and we know Justice. He's a very good pilot. He's a very good player in general. Bringing something as spicy as Nezahal, it's hot, and I hopefully he's on the feature match so everybody else gets to watch it too. He is a very good pilot. And I'm excited to watch him come in.
The riveting play of mono blue.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, one of our buddies, Brandon, who we mentioned earlier, is on Teferi, right? That was an interesting game. I was watching a game out there just as we were in between this casting, and someone ripped a Culling Writ for like 15.
Yeah.
Cast an Oppo, got countered and passed. And the next player had a Phantasmal Image copying a Kraum. Like, they would have been an Atraxa, but Abby, who's on Blue Farm, swords the Atraxa. So he got a Kraum with a Bruce out. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Swings with Bruce, target my Kraum. Oops, sack trigger, right? Because it's a Phantasmal Image. You can't target with anything. With anything. But that would have been sick.
That would have been.
That would have been sick.
Having the Bruce target the Kraum would have been disgusting. But unfortunately, Phantasmal Image does have that little piece of information at the bottom of it. It says if it's targeted at all, you have to sacrifice it.
Which makes, like, Flesh Duplicate, right? Like, just an upgrade in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. Both of them being 2 mana.
Yeah. I mean, that's not hard to get.
Not at all. The only bad thing about Flesh Duplicate is it does have that vanishing, or the double blue pips is really what's holding it back the most.
Yeah.
But when you're playing mono blue or even blue farm, it's really easy to get those double blue pips.
I mean, even with the Grixis shell, right? I mean, I know Tymna Kraum, a lot of them do that, right? Is the better Fimage, he says. Oh, all right. That's an interesting take, chat. Like, do you agree? Is Flesh Duplicate just a better Fimage? Because a lot of people would agree, because just like we were talking with the Tymna Kraum, having Displacer Kitten, can't do that with Phantasmal Image.
Not at all. You instantly have to sack it if you're trying to flicker it with Displacer Kitten.
Which is so sad.
It is. Sad. Having a Fimage come in as a dockside and then trying to target it to flicker it to target something else or to enter as something else, having to sacrifice it before you can do that is it's unfortunate.
But like a Kenrith, for instance, wouldn't want a Flesh Duplicate because, like, the main dockside combo for Kenrith is targeting it,
the Fimage,
and then sacking it and stuff like that. That still takes, like, what, 8 mana, give or take?
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed playing Kenny when I played him. It was
all 5 games of them.
Yeah,
awesome.
all 5.
Yeah.
It was not a deck that I was. I don't know. It wasn't the deck for me. I'm definitely enjoying Darcios more, and I definitely enjoyed Tazri quite a bit.
You know, it's kind of funny. For those of you guys who don't know what Darcios is, it's Dargo Thrasios, which was made mostly famous by Freedom Waffle.
Yep.
Right? And Manila Midget is another one that is a big pilot on that. So it's really fun because it has the opportunity to go fast.
Absolutely.
But it definitely has a grind plan.
And I think Temur in and of itself is just a very grindy color combination.
Yeah.
But it has the ability, especially with Dargo and Greater Good. Yeah, sure. I'll sack
Oh,
Dargo, draw
more.
7. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And you're still running blue and red, obviously with Dargo, but you're still running blue and red, and so even if with the cards that you pitch off of the Greater Good, you're still fueling your breach. And so things like that, it's just really easy to take advantage of already powerful cards, and now we get to play Dargo as well.
Yeah.
And that Dargo is a pill. It's a pill, man.
Drug.
It really is.
It's kind of funny that you're mentioning about like Kenrith not being your deck, like your style. It's not a comment on how good the deck is. It's
Absolutely.
a good deck. Like everyone can agree, Kenrith is a solid deck, but it's not like what your style is.
Exactly.
And so it just doesn't fit. And I've wondered a couple times, like I was talking with Craig one time on the way home from Atlanta, that like how many decks are there that people just don't play because it's not like they don't think it's their personality, but it really is.
And I fell into that pretty hard with Rogsai versus Dargo Thrasios. I didn't want to play Dargo Thrasios because I didn't think it was the deck that I would really enjoy playing, especially coming off of a deck like Rogsai. And now it's all go. And going to a deck that has the ability to go more of a mid-range. And don't get me wrong, Rogsai can have a grind plan if you need it to. It's a Grixis pile. You're playing the best Grixis cards. You're still playing Rhystic. You're still playing the One Ring for most part. You're still playing Fish, and so you can grind if you absolutely have to. But I think going over to a Darcios or even Dargo Tymna can turbo, but it's also it can also sit there and have a grind session just with the best of them.
Honestly, man, there have been so many games where I've been under multiple Rhystics or something like that, and you sit and bide your time.
Absolutely.
What makes white so good as a splashing color is the fact that once you hit that silence, like you don't just have the window, you jam that window open.
Absolutely.
Like and it keeps it open.
And we were talking about it with the last round with Jared. You manifest your own windows once you get that silence effect in hand.
Oh yeah.
There is no waiting for the window. Once you find either the GA or the Grand Abolisher or the silence effect, you're able to manifest your own windows and just jam it from there.
There's a guy in the Dargo Discord named Hermit. He's a caster, and he's done some content on YouTube and stuff. He's a huge Dargo Tymna fan. And we've talked before about how he doesn't call it a mid-range, he doesn't call it a turbo deck, he calls it a pivot deck.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of decks out there that like I really like the term pivot deck because it pivots. The whole concept of it is you find your window and then you go. Like you can jog for a little bit and then just hit that switch and go.
Absolutely. And it's the same thing with a deck like Dargo Thrasios. I know I keep harping on it, but that's the deck that I'm currently playing right now, and so it's what I have the most experience with currently. But a deck like Dargo Thrasios, you can put out the turn 2, turn 3 wins, but it's also able to sit back and chill and pull out the turn 7, turn 8, turn 9 wins very easily.
Well, because you have those engines, right? Like
exactly.
Thrasios isn't the best engine, but it is an engine. You have, your Rhystics, you have your Mystics and stuff like that. Dargo gives you the ability, it's a battery. Right?
100%.
I kind of think of Dargo sometimes as a, those hell bombs and Helldivers that are just like that just kind of sit there and like I just need this one thing to go off and like it just powers you to like into a clear zone. Like that's how I feel of Dargo, man.
Absolutely, I agree. I 100% agree. And being one that likes to blow up the random hell bombs every once in a while,
that's great.
It's so much fun.
It's like a little piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm also the first one to tell you that hell bombs will kill you. Don't stand too close because they will kill you.
Yep. All the drama with that game too.
Oh my
talk
goodness.
about like a pivoting to like another game, like all the drama with the Sony and stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
The requirement for the PSN account is stirring up a lot. It's a very fun game, and I highly recommend it to anybody if you're willing to play it. But it's the drama behind it is definitely there as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, I do like the fact that it's PvE. we're almost like this round is just about done. We're gonna get started pretty soon with the next table. Speaking of the next table, I don't recognize a couple of these arts. You recognize that?
Not right off my head.
I mean, the one with the blood moon looks.
Yeah, that looks pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not right off the top of the head.
You know, it was funny talking to James just earlier, right? Who's like the Goto pilot, right? The Goto king in the area, right?
Oh, I'm sure there's Kennen players.
I counted at least 5.
Yes.
Kennen players in this broken. Yeah, because you have a Shawnee, right?
Yeah, Shawnee's on Kennen.
I talked to someone else that played Kennen. I watched someone play Kennen, and then I've seen or heard of or know of 2 others.
Another person that I kind of want to spotlight right now is Andy. He's here on TNT playing. I think it's the Nullbird. The
Nullbird. No kidding.
And he, I'm excited to see how he did. I'm waiting for the results to post so I can see how he did. But he is absolutely on Nullbird.
It's actually a great idea. We should have the tournament tournament post up.
I also really enjoy TNT, and so my list and his list are completely different lists. But he's a very good Nullbird pilot, and so I'm excited to see how he did with it.
Andy, he's won a tournament. He won a Cradle in Kentucky not that long ago on Kennen.
Yes,
he is a really good pilot. Like, there are not a lot of times I played with him where I'm like, wow, that's a he doesn't know what he's doing. You know, he always is really good with his interactions.
Yes,
he's really good at pacing. He's really good with a lot of decks.
I think there's a lot of players in our local meta that are just absolutely fantastic pilots for the decks that they are known for. We mentioned earlier about Joe on Tymna, very good Tymna pilot.
But that only goes so far, right?
It does. I mean, you're playing Tymna, so
yeah. So really,
you can only be so good.
Yeah. So C tier is C tier, my boy.
Exactly. But I can't really talk. I played Tazri, so
what, bro? That's cracking. That's top 5 deck. What are you talking about?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just Najila Light.
Broken. When did they go to Atlanta? I went to Atlanta. What was that? Last week? 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I went to Atlanta. Yeah, there were not a lot of Kennens. In fact, I saw only one. I saw him twice in the finals and in my second round of Swiss. More Sisays than I saw Kennens in Atlanta.
I love Sisay.
Sisay, okay, so Sisay is really interesting, right? Because it is so dependent on its commander, and people know that, and yet it still gets so much success because it has that point where, if you don't know the lines, then it could just jump at you.
I agree, and Guilty. I also agree with you that I think that there are very few Kennen players that are starting to come out. And even less Kennen players that are maintaining playing Kennen. I know a couple of players that used to play Kennen a lot that have since come off of it to go over to a blue farm, to a Sisay.
Yeah.
Because Kennen's just not it grinds very well, but it doesn't grind the way that a blue farm deck can. Because blue farm, you're playing the 4 best colors and you're playing all the best cards.
I feel like Kennen right now, and of course this is just opinion, not fact. But I really feel like Kennen is going through the Najila flow right now. And what's happening is Kennen was such a boogeyman for a little bit because, everyone was, doing their thing. But people are starting to either get onto it and don't know how to play it. And then we see a win percentage go down. Or people are just not on it because it's the boogeyman and they don't want to be that person.
Absolutely.
So we have our rounds. They're about to get started right now. Looks like we are going to get Cole.
We are going to see justice.
C4 on Nezzy Hizzle on seat 4 for our feature match, which, again, we were just talking about him. Really, really good pilot, right? And we'll get that started in just a second.
Yeah, the players haven't sat down yet, so once they sit down, we'll transition over to that.
Yep. We're just typing in the names now. I'm glad Corey's doing all the technical side of this because I would not be.
Just Corey.
Just Corey.
Who is this? It's just Corey.
It's just Corey.
Justice for Gotham.
So first seat's gonna be there.
Yes.
Perfect. After our first blunder of like, oh, that guy, that's not who's see one. Oh, that's our man. That's our man.
And going back to talking about Andy on No Bird, he actually ended up drawing his first round. So.
Oh, did he?
Yep. He got the 1 point.
You know, that's the thing about Nolbert though. Like, it's a grind. And
Absolutely.
It's really hard to turn the corner. Here's a good scoot to our right. That way we can not have that.
I'm fixing the camera.
Oh, look at that. Slightly.
You want to come over a little bit more? We'll move.
Yeah, there we go. Now it looks like we actually know what we're doing. Hey.
It doesn't look like we're complete idiots.
Dude, it's still like that.
All right, so it looks like the players are getting set up right now.
We're gonna transition over to the.
Go ahead.
Don't mind me. I'm just moving.
Yeah, dude.
Go ahead and
You're
transition
you're the
over.
boss here, not me. So, still about a little bit more to the.
Did it eventually go?
Beautiful. There we go. Oh, yep.
There we go.
There we go. All right, so
How's
Perfect. We're missing
top
right
Top
and
right, a little
bottom
cockeyed.
right. It is a little cockeyed. If we could straighten that up for us.
right.
Thank you.
Ooh, we have the Boyle playmat signed by many people from Justice, right? No.
No, Justice is in
that's-
bottom four. Or
Yeah.
is in bottom.
There you go. So it's Philippe. That's just Philip, probably.
But yeah, I do see a Shawnee signature right there with Jamaican Dude. That's pretty sweet.
Is he?
The Jamaican Dude.
Yeah.
He is.
What if he wasn't Jamaican? That'd be hilarious.
It would be.
We actually have a Jamaican truck coming in, food truck.
We do. I'm pretty excited because
Yeah.
you're paying for it.
Yo. Okay, so the pod right now, we have Blue Farm at seat 2. We have Sisay at seat 3.
There's Sisay.
Blue Farm at seat 1. And
Nezahal on seat 4.
Yo, I'm not saying that I'm showing a little bit of bias here, but like, beat the Blue Farm player.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I hope that nothing against Philip or Andrew or Jerry.
No,
but-
love them as people, but also.
It's Nezahal. You can't when Nezahal is sitting down, you go for the Nezahal. That's just the way that
You
it goes.
gotta root for the underdogs.
look? Good.
That's
A
perfect.
lot better.
Perfect.
All
Yeah.
right. We got Jerry in the upper left.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Is that Fibblethip on his mat?
Yes,
I
yeah.
don't know where he's at.
Yeah, you know, he don't know where he's at. He's always lost. That
it is.
crazy.
So it looks like
Fibblethip.
we're still resolving mulligans.
Yeah.
What
So-
is when you're Blue Farm? You're going 1-2. What's the hand you're looking for?
Engine? I mean, isn't that what always Blue Farm was looking for?
I mean, yeah, but if you have the ability to keep a turn 1 Tymna or a turn 1 Kraum, are you keeping the turn 1 Tymna or Kraum over a Ristic? Or are you mulling
those
for
are
a
draw-
Ristic?
I mean, those are draw engines.
100%.
So to me, that's a yes. Like that, you would keep that to me. But I think that it depends on what mulligan I'm on. So if I'm on like a mulligan on 6, I'm keeping it. Turn 1 Kraum, 100%.
Oh,
See,
if I can keep a turn 1 Kraum, I'm keeping turn 1 Kraum regardless first 7 or last
Right.
4.
Right.
It
But like
doesn't
if
matter.
I'm like first 7, I might pitch. For like a Tymna one, for instance, and look for a Ristic. But it would have to be a turn 1 Tymna for me to want to keep that even remote.
Absolutely.
Especially in seat 1 or 2. Seat 1 would be like excellent. Yeah, there is a link available. I believe Corey here is going to be the one to send it into the chat, question mark.
Yes. Give me 2 seconds.
This is why they pay him the big bucks, because he does all the technical side. I'm just here for bad jokes. So, Is it posted by Just Corey?
Oh,
Ah,
it didn't work.
womp womp. Womp womp. Why didn't it work?
I don't know. If you go on to Top Deck and you look for the Mayhem tournament, it'll have the view bracket.
Yeah.
And you can go in and look at all the standings and where everybody is.
Yeah. I Top Deck running this whole point system thing, I think was a huge boost for cEDH.
Absolutely.
For a lot of reasons.
Speaking of that, they're talking about doing a cEDH Pro Tour. How to making it an actual WotC official meta. How do you feel about that?
As someone who can't afford to do duels and stuff like that on a teacher salary, I don't know. Because if we keep this idea that we can have proxies and we're okay with that, then yeah, I'm very okay with that. If it gets to the point where it's like, nope, no more proxies allowed, great. So I have to pay $12,000 for a deck to play. Like, I don't think I'm okay with that. But being a really competitive person, like, I'm down if I can have the proxies. You know,
Absolutely. And I think the proxies, at least the initial, looks like we got. Are we still mulliganing?
Yeah, Sisay looks like they're on 7 ?
12K and then travel expenses, exactly. And I think that's a huge piece of this. Is Pro Tours are not. They're not cheap. They're normally at conventions, which incurs its own cost to enter, to get access into the Pro Tour or into the SCG itself. And so I think if you're able to keep the proxies, I don't think that doing a Pro Tour or a professional grinders, I don't think is a bad idea. But being forced to go over to more of the modern and standard where you have to have 100% legal cards is definitely going to hinder a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing to me. And like one of the reasons why I love cEDH so much is that I know people we can play, and I'm not playing their wallet. I'm playing their deck. I'm playing the person. And I've had countless arguments with people online how, like, even just statistically, the amount of players that you're removing from the game because you are putting essentially a gatekeep on how much they can pay for, right? And it's just statistically you're mulling down the competition, which is not what I want either. I want the best competition possible.
Absolutely, I want to play against your mind, not against your wallet.
Exactly.
I was talking to one of the players at the last feature match actually, and he was talking about how if he loses a game, he's okay with losing the game as long as he lost the game to you playing your best. And if that's the
top table, yeah, you definitely can.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
They have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, dude, this is honestly one of the best stores around for cards. Like, legitimately. I'm not just saying that because we're here and we're trying to plug them. I say that as, like, a consumer, they have one of the best collections around.
100%.
Yeah. You were saying about, like, playing against competition?
But yeah, I don't want to play where you're stifled by your ability to buy cards.
Yeah.
With you being on a teacher salary, I know that you mentioned it earlier, not getting the revenue that some players do have. I don't. You're one of my best friends, but I still don't want to play you against your wallet. I want to play you against.
But dude, that's the only way you could beat me.
I want to play against the best Kellen that I can play against, not the Kellen that he can afford. You know what I mean?
Because the Kellen that Kellen can afford, not a good deck. Not a very good Kellen. That's a very, yeah. But, like, that's another thing, too, right? Is that if it does get the support of WotC, like, the potential there is huge. By the way, we're starting right here. Soul Ring turn 1 from Blue Farm and pass.
Shocker.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good opening start. Question mark for talking about, speaking of proxies.
Yes. Looks like Mountain Plains. So that's going to be a plateau. Pitching a Simian Spirit Guide. Turn 1 Dauntless for the Blue Farm.
Okay, really strong play against 2 other decks that need Artifact Ramp.
Absolutely.
Actually, 3. 3 decks that need Artifact Ram. They all need Artifact
because
Ram.
Nezi uses them just as much as everybody else does, and so. But that really shuts down Sisay for that dockside count for starting the Sisay loop.
Which is one of the biggest combos that they have in the deck, right?
Absolutely.
And it needs is it one of those decks that need dockside? Like, it kind of do. In a lot of ways.
It's just like the Dargo Thrasios. It's dockside dot deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only difference is dockside dot deck with Dargo Thrasios I don't think you need dockside. We were playing a casual cEDH game the other night, and my dockside ended up getting exiled, and I was still able to pull that dub out with.
Yeah, I mean that's partially why that deck is so good. Right?
Absolutely,
like Bergie's a drug too.
Bergie Tidespout that's a heck of a card.
And
I love it.
Dude, wait till you cast Tidespout with no dockside, like raw. It's gonna be great.
All right,
Noble Hierarch.
Misty for. Misty, a Kraum. What are we going to get with the Misty?
This guy's wheeling and dealing right here. Like, he's going through this so fast. Okay. Lavinia? Question mark? Is he exile? Yeah,
he's exiling Lavinia with the Kraum.
Yeah, so that's a double pip, right? So he got a Bayou. So Bayou from Noble Hierarch, Lavinia under Chromox, tap the Chromox.
What do we got after that?
I mean, I would assume like an Esper Sentinel, maybe?
Well, it could also be a fish.
That would be really good. I mean, either one would be good. Actually, it was for nothing. Oh, Dauntless has to come and play tapped.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
So another turn 1 Soul Ring, right? From Cold Justice. Island pass, right? But it comes into play tapped. So it does slow them down a little bit, but honestly, Sisay not feeling too bad about this.
Not at all. You have Sisay that's showing 3 mana on turn 2. Cole is showing 3 mana turn 2. And then obviously Blue Farm had their Soul Ring come in untapped, and so they were able to show immediate 3 mana. But I think that turn 1 Dauntless is definitely slowing them down. I definitely think that Andrew and Cole had plays that they wanted to make past just the rocks that they played. And
absolutely.
So we'll see.
We have an Arid Mesa for a Plateau. All right.
Old Plato.
I mean, do you just cast Tymna here? I mean, there are a lot of creature-heavy decks, and Nezahal probably is not going to have the creatures to block you. So do you just cast Tymna here, or do you go for something, maybe a Ristic? I mean, I think you would love a Ristic here. Rite of Flame. So Rite of Flame gets him Kraum?
Maybe a Kraum.
Yeah, I think Rite of Flame gets him a Kraum here.
That's,
there you go.
There you go. Turn 2 Kraum. I'll take that any day of the week.
Kraum's such a good card right now. Like, and it's funny,
especially against another blue farm that doesn't. There you go.
Yeah,
against another blue farm that doesn't have the blockers for it,
and probably is not going to have the Kraum out anytime soon either.
Absolutely not.
Unless he's showing something like a Dark Writ in his hand or something like that.
Absolutely guilty. I 100% agree with you. It is Kraum bat time.
Yeah, the fact that it has haste and flying, I thought was
so good.
It really is
so good.
The new Kraum, I was kind of hoping just was like slightly less. Like it came out with it's a 2/2, but it gets +1/+1 counters, right? I was kind of hoping that it was going to be as good as this Kraum, but there was no partner on it, so like that makes it way worse.
Could you imagine if the second Kraum had partner too, and you could have double Kraums? So,
anyways, I wake up from magical dreamlands, and yeah.
All right, so it looks like we just untap and pass from the number 2 player.
That's rough.
Jerry.
So do you? Okay, so he mulliganed. He didn't look like he mulliganed very low. Do you keep a hand that's just Dauntless pass? No other sources of mana.
And there's turn 2 Sisay from Andrew.
Turn 2 Sisay from Andrew is really good. Sisay's your engine. That's the way you do things in that deck. I'm very interested to see why he would tap the Noble and not the Bayou. To me, maybe a Worldly Tutor, but even then, like, Noble is there. Vamp Tutor, perhaps?
Vamp Tutor, cut down. Could be a cut down.
Yeah? That's Sisay staple. Nezahal tapping for 4, pulling out a clever impersonate. Yo, that's spicy. Clever
are you impersonating the Kraum or the Sisay?
I think you're impersonating a Soul Ring, dude. You impersonate the Soul Ring, so then you get Nezahal next turn.
Yeah. I think impersonating the Kraum would have been awesome. Being able to smack the Kraum bat, being able to smack Blue Farm after he just smacked somebody else, I think that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But yes, it definitely looks like that he's copying the Soul Ring.
Then we have turn 3 Tymna. So look at that. Turn 1 Soul Ring, turn 2 Kraum, turn 3 Tymna. Blue Farm is doing exactly what it wants to do.
Absolutely, and there's nothing holding it back right now.
Yeah.
The Dauntless is doing very little to slow down the seat 1.
Okay, so hot take. This is one of the reasons why I cut Man of the Magistrate.
100%.
It honestly, it can king make people a lot. And a lot of the time when I'm trying to play my Martyr deck, like, I'm not there to police you. I'm not there to stop you. I'm there to win. Right?
Absolutely.
So, like, Dauntless, I like the card. I think it's great for white to have, but it's not doing anything right now. And the handicapped, really, it's rough.
No, the only thing that it's doing is slowing down the other 2 players, one of them being a Nezahal control deck. And you're slowing them down with being able to hold up the interaction as well. I think it was a very good play, but I feel like it would have been a much better play had he been in C1.
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously, knowing with the information that we have right now.
How many times do we see that, though? Is that hindsight 2020 in cEDH?
Hindsight's always 40-40. It's not 2020. It's always 40-40.
He got his second land, though. Command tower. Great. That's good. But when he's just passing on that, too.
Yeah.
Yikes. See, now he's doing what a Blue Farm doesn't want to do. Is just sit back and not draw.
It looks like he has a Fluster in hand, so I wonder if he's holding up that command tower for the Fluster and then just not having anything to do with the Play-Doh. But I definitely think that keeping a hand with just a Fluster and a turn 1 Dauntless is a little questionable.
Kraum Achroma partners when? Gosh, today I hope. I wish. Guilty? Like, come on, that'd be sick. That's sick.
All right, so on my next brew.
Yeah. Until next time on Dragon's Ball Play. So Sisay passing? Yeah?
Yep.
So, yeah, there we go. So it was a Soul Ring into a Nezahal on turn 3. That was the
Absolutely.
goal. I still think I like the Kraum move, though, but, like, I get it. I understand it. Nezahal is your engine. That's what your deck is built around. So
we have a turn 3 Nezi into a pass over to Blue Farm that's
watch Nez.
At this point just so by and far ahead compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
I think the Sisay player has a good chance of being a close second.
Real big fish. Nice.
But with Nezi having to tap out for it on turn 3 is that sucks a little bit for him. But
you know what it does, though? It does turn on his Fierce Guardianship if he does run that. Nezahal can be more of a draw engine than Kraum ever could be if we're talking about the right decks, right? Because it draws
Absolutely.
for every single non-creature spell. That's a lot of draws in these decks in particular.
Yes. The Blue Farm decks are going to feed the Nezi ridiculously amount.
So I think Cole did a really good job there, like pacing himself. Like, he knows that Nezahal is going to be like a threat, and he knows it's going to be taking the attention. But it's a good draw engine, and Blue Farm's still looking like in a very commanding position right now.
Absolutely.
I think we're still at the point where we are waiting for that to resolve, and they're talking it out. Because see that Vamp Tutor we talked about earlier, right? He's doing a Vamp Tutor in response to the Nezahal. It looks like it is Nezahal's turn, Guilty. I don't
think it is. I think it's this is at upkeep because now the Gaia's Cradle and everything else is untapped on the Sisay's turn. I think this is a Vamp Tutor on upkeep of Sisay's turn.
No, he didn't cast any spells. His turn. Sisay didn't cast any. That's why Nezahal is out now. I don't know. We'll find out. Because I wonder why he would keep that Vamp Tutor back when he had so much mana untapped on his turn. Yeah, because he played a Forbidden Orchard. That was his third land. It's turn 3, right? Turn 3, Nezahal with 3 islands. Yeah. Interesting.
Yes, Guilty. This is Mono Blue Nezi. And again, we were talking about it in the very beginning about how we were hoping that we were going to see Cole in the feature match so we could go over his deck. But this is he's a very good pilot of this list, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch it once it starts popping off.
Yeah, he's a really good pilot, and he does a lot of spicy brews. How many times did you play against Cole?
Quite a few times, and he has kicked my butt every single time. I almost got him on Najila one time.
Yo.
against Nezi, and then he killed my Najila, and then Najila was no longer a
Oh,
threat.
no, you're right. It was Sisay's turn. They went all the way around?
Yes,
Oh, am I just sleeping?
because Kraum swung and drew a card off Tymna, took the life, and didn't draw anything of use, I suppose. Obviously, he didn't cast any spells, and then we're still looking at 2 lands and a Dauntless from the turn 2 or from the second seat.
Yeah, he didn't swing with Tymna because there's no
No open spot.
That's right. Yeah, you are right, sir. Okay, so it goes to Nezahal now. Plays a Relic of Legends.
That
Taps.
comes in tapped, and that's again that Dauntless is helping a little bit, but then we have a turn 4 One Ring from Nezahal.
Tapped. Because of the Dauntless.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, wow. Nezahal is really like low key. They're in the lead, in my opinion. They have resources. They have a draw engine. They have 2 draw engines.
Yeah, but one of those draw engines is tapped, so I don't think we can consider it a draw engine as of right now. Next turn, it'll definitely be a.
Well, it starts, right?
Absolutely. We got a little information sharing going on right now.
Cole is notorious for doing that, man. Like, he will share. He'll give you information all the time. But do not take it lightly. He does it. He's got a good poker face. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. Again, a very good pilot.
Uh-huh.
And I really enjoy playing with him.
So we are now on. We're still on.
We're on Blue Farm's turn and seat 1.
Yeah, seat 1. Okay, yeah, he's swinging with Kraum? Question mark.
There we go. So we have
Kraum
over at Sisay.
Yeah, Sisay is already down to 29, which is kind of surprising to me that he's swinging at the Sisay player, because I know the whole adage is like you swing at the Nas player only, but like Sisay doesn't really care about its life.
Not at all.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Did he draw anything meaningful off of the Tymna draw?
You know what's actually kind of funny? He hasn't drawn anything off of Kraum.
Yeah, nobody's cast more than 1 spell.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I still think it was the right play.
100%.
But I guess you could say he draws off Kraum because Tymna's there. That's what makes that combo so good, right? Like having that evasion.
All right, so we have an Imp Seal from seat 1 Blue Farm from Philip.
Leap.
What do you go get here? Do you go get a Rhystic? Or you can't cast the Rhystic because you're using your
use your blue or black
UC to pay for the Imperial Seal. So
I think you still get Dockside.
You go get Dockside.
I mean, does he have something in his hand that's going to allow him to do anything?
Well,
that's the question.
It wouldn't matter because Dockside treasures are going to come in tapped.
Yeah, but Blue Farm runs a lot of removal, and actually, we just saw him go past the Dockside in his hand. We can see it a little bit better on stream than obviously the other players can. But what's he searching for? That's the real thing. Maybe something that can slow down Nezahal?
Maybe something to get rid of the Dauntless.
Yeah. Oh, what do you think of that right there?
I'm not sure. It was I didn't catch a glimpse of it. But hopefully we find out here soon. That would be that'd be really cool to be able to see exactly why what he went and got.
You know what one artifact combo that is not stopped by Dauntless?
Breach is not stopped because LED does not care if it's tapped or not. You can just sack it.
Yeah. So maybe he still has a pretty full grip in his hand.
And Plateau being untapped, that's Savine's mana.
That's Savine's mana. That's the silence mana. I love silence effects. So fun.
But we can't brain freeze right now. We can't
no.
Can't Rhystic. We could Esper.
I don't think it's just more setup. Feels like it's going to be the idea. I don't think he's going to go for it. I don't think that's the right.
I don't think going against it right now, Nezahal does have 3 untapped mana.
And draws for every time you do something, right?
Exactly. And so I think if we were going to do anything, we're just going to pitch and pass.
Pitch and pass. So the card he wants is in his. It's on top of his library.
But he pitched a Wishclaw. That's
another tutor. I mean, that's crazy.
Why wouldn't you use the Wishclaw? Tap the UC and the Soul Ring to use the Wishclaw, and I guess you don't want to give somebody else a free tutor.
Well, you also can't use the Wishclaw immediately because of the Dauntless.
That is true. You are correct. I stand corrected.
Ancient Tomb? Yeah, but like,
Finally got that third land.
but why don't you do Imp Seal when you know you're gonna draw from Tymna? You know what I mean?
Maybe he drew the MCL off of Tymna.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Taking 2 off the Ancient Tomb. Looks like we have another Tymna
We
coming
have another
down.
Tymna coming down. Tymna. What's really rough about this though is that Dauntless doesn't have anywhere to go.
Not at all.
Like, you're not running into a Nezahal. Sisay's a 2/2 right now.
Well,
Tymna,
Dauntless does have a big butt, and so you could swing it into the Sisay.
And maybe,
Or
like,
into the Tymna.
you could.
But it's just going to bounce. There's not going to be any card draw. I'm not giving you a card draw. I'm not giving you a card if I don't have to. And
Yeah,
nothing
absolutely.
Dies. Absolutely, I'm taking that 100% of the time.
And you know the big thing here is that, like, when you have decks that are black-blue, that is a
Enlightened Tutor.
Enlightened Tutor at upkeep, right? Or no?
No, this is at instep.
End step with the Chromox. What do you think he's grabbing?
I'm not sure. Instep actions.
Yeah. I think that's like one of the big things with like tutors that are instant. That's like why everyone runs them. Because MCO people debate about getting out of decks because it's sorcery speed into top of library.
Yeah.
End step top of library is practically the draw that you need, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what it means.
It's the exact card that you need in the exact situations in which you need them.
And Sisay known for like having a lot of pivot plan to like go get different things, right?
See what they
see
go
what he's
and grab.
grabbing. Do you think this is Clam Chowder, Sisay?
Well, I don't think it's Sakashima or Derevi since it's an Enlightened Tutor.
But it's a bold move.
It
It's
could be a Phyrexian Metamorph.
Phyrexian Metamorph, whole different ball game, right? Oh, copy of Nezi.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
You're absolutely going to copy Nezahal.
Nezahal.
Or you don't have blue or red pips. Do you copy the Kraum or the Tymna to get the pips for Sisay?
Which gives you 4, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it can be tapped with Relic of Legends as well. But it is an artifact, so it actually comes into play tapped because of Dauntless.
It does.
So, like, honestly, a lot of
Well,
options
no, it
here.
enters as a copy. And
It's
so,
still an artifact. Phyrexian Metamorph is still an artifact, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me.
Let's
Tell
double
me.
check.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I love it. Let's double check.
Even with the Revi, does he? I don't think he has the mana to utilize. Oh, he might. Global Hierarch and Chromox both tapping for multiple colors is really good. Fun fact, it's good. Read the card.
Well, it enters as a copy,
Yes.
except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. You are correct.
Say it again so I
Yeah, so sure.
can. Okay, so he got Phyrexian Metamorph, which was the play that we knew what was going to happen, right?
What is he copying?
What is he copying is the question.
Well, it only went up to 3, so I think he did copy the Nezi.
Yeah. Which, again, is not a bad play.
Not at all. That gives you a draw engine as well.
Yeah. I mean, you want to go toe for toe with Nezahal with his draws, right? That sounded like it was good.
Oh,
That back crack though. If you guys could have heard that, that was satisfying for all of us here. All right, so Nezahal.
Looks
Go
like
ahead.
we're going to
Draw.
draw a card before we put the island down.
Yeah, Judge. All right,
There's
so
the island.
I love how all those islands have Nezahal on it.
It's not Nezahal. It's
So-
a Mosasaurus from
Mosasaurus. Oh, from
the Jurassic Park.
there you go. Boy, we love dinos though, don't we?
In my casual Pantlaza list, I have all of my basics as the dino lands too. It makes me
Nice.
happy. Now we have a Spellskite to
Spellskite.
help protect the Nezi.
Good. So good.
and that a Kinnan staple, and Nezahal is essentially just a mono blue Kinnan from what I've been talking about with Justice. It's just a mono blue version of Kinnan. Just
Yeah.
a mid-range grind fest.
Yeah. Guilty, you're right. He would have gotten 2 colors for Sisay, and he would have been able to tap it next turn for Sisay to get multiple mana. Plus, he's missing the red mana right now. As far as his other sources, he would have to tap others. So, like, there's a lot going on there with Sisay. The question is, though, does he want to get more cards in hand? it feels like to me this is again a clam chowder build for Sisay, and that means that he's not immediately going for that dock side where he doesn't have his out.
Another thing that we have not been thinking about, because I'm pretty sure Nezahal gives no maximum hand size.
It does, in fact, do.
And so that's another piece to this, that Justice is no longer going to have to discard, and so he's being able to keep up all of that interaction.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got the biggest creature on board.
Absolutely, by far.
He is chilling, dude. He's got the one ring now. He's got Nezahal. He's got Spellskite to stop anything like that. He is chilling. This is right where he wants to be. Absolutely.
And you still have a Soul Ring untapped with that Clever Impersonator, and so right now you're showing 6 mana untapped. That's a little scary if I'm just going to pass with 6 mana untapped. You know
I mean that you can't run into that. You know you can't. But the problem is that he can just... Okay, so now they're going to start... Oh, yeah, Nezahal's kind of ahead. Let's start swinging at him. Oh, okay. So that's 4. Draws a card off Tymna, because, a thing. Right? But gets his 3rd land. That's kind of big. Looks like a Bloodstained Mire.
Absolutely.
Fetch with the Bloodstained Mire. What do you get here? Because you could get Badlands, you could get Scrubland, you could get...
I think you go get Volk Island. I think you go get the second blue source. I think at this point, he's got to have a Rhystic or a Fish in hand, and you only have the one blue source, or go get a second blue source for the Brain Freeze, but
you were right,
going to get Volcanic Island.
The fish we just saw was on the bottom of his library, but you're right, Volk Island big. Here's the thing, though. What you just said, 6 mana open.
Yeah.
With Nezahal, which effectively says you're not playing what you want to play.
Not at all.
With the little amount of resources you do have.
Because you also have to think that Nezahal is a mono blue deck, so it's running all of the counter spells.
All of it. And people say blue can't remove things. Well, they just remove it off the stack.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is
stack removal is the best removal. You don't get anything if I remove it from the stack.
Your wife's texting you.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
How do you get a hold of Corey when he's busy? Through the chat.
100%.
Yeah. But, babe, I'm busy.
But Mom. All right, so let's see what he does past his Volk Island. I'm really curious to see, because you were right that we definitely saw the Mystic on the bottom. Looks like we're gonna pitch the Tainted Pact.
Interesting. So I mean that's no Thoracle then.
Absolutely.
Which is also like a pseudo tutor, right? But pitching a Tainted Pact, that means he's pretty confident with what he has in hand, at least in my opinion.
But he's also keeping up 5 mana, and so we have Nezahal on 6 mana, we have Blue Farm on 5 mana, so Downey, your little pet card with Tymna.
I immediately am changing my views. I want this guy to win. Downey, baby, let's go. I love it. What's great about Downey in this situation here is now Nezahal is open.
Absolutely.
With Tymna to swing, because he can't block it with Nezahal.
And with the Spellskite tapped, you also can't block it with the Spellskite either.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the Tymna Nezi.
Pow, right in the kisser. Pow, right in the kisser.
And then Dauntless over at Sisay. Sisay could block with the Noble, but are you risking that with...
No, absolutely not.
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
I don't disagree.
Which is funny, because Sisay is a 3/3. Downey says 3 or greater cannot block.
Absolutely.
So he gets under it. That's actually a really big tempo play.
Absolutely.
Corey did just say Downey's a big pet card of mine, and it is. It's huge. The dream is Downey Displacer Kitten. Oh.
I think right now you're so pilled on Clark. The Delney Clark.
Man, I so am.
Delney Clark is ridiculous, and you've kicked my butt with it a couple of times, and
it's all pure luck.
There's the Fimmage. What do we get
Kraum.
off the Fimmage?
It's Kraum.
You got to get Kraum, right?
It's Kraum. Well,
or you could get the Nezi. You could
Nezahal.
get the Nezahal.
No, what you do is you copy the Phyrexian Metamorph version of Nezahal, so now it's an art. No? Okay. Yeah. I'm cooking, guys. I'm cooking.
You're cooking too much.
So much spice.
You're a little burnt, buddy. Calm down. All right, so
I think he probably got the Nezahal, right?
You have to. It's either the Kraum or the Nezahal. You already have a Tymna, so that doesn't make any sense.
You get a Nezi.
You get a Nezi. Everybody gets a Nezi.
Everyone gets a Nezi.
We're Oprah Winfrey with this Nezahal right now.
Oh, dude.
Everyone getting a Nezi this game. You're absolutely right, Guilty. They said our Nezzy.
Yes, yes, Comrade Nezzy. Yes. Gives the spirit from the Forbidden Orchard, right? He's doing a Sisay activation.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Do you?
That's a 3. That's a 3 drop. So that's either a Lotho. That could be a. There's a lot of things you can get for 3 and under, or 2 and under. Sorry, 2 and under.
Yeah, because it has to be less than Sisay's power, correct?
Yes, has to be less than Sisay's power. Does he go ahead and get the Colts? 1 black, pumps it by 4. That would give him a Sisay at like what, 7?
Goes and gets the Kinnan.
That's really solid. Also,
but
notably,
you're completely tapped out. Is the Kinnan the right move here? And
yeah,
there's a submerge.
It was an. Oh yeah, that's a solid move by Justice right here. Submerge, targeting what? Do you target the Sisay? Do you target the Metamorph? Doesn't really matter at this point. You just got to do it.
There's the draw off the Nezahal trigger for
Blue Farm.
You were absolutely correct. Guilty.
Yeah. This is really sad. I used to play Sisay and I didn't even think about Kinnan. That's kind of embarrassing.
What a bad Sisay player.
I didn't say I was a good Sisay player. I just said
he is submerging the Sisay, so we do have a Kinnan on board.
Yeah, which I mean.
He instepped.
Yeah, he end-stepped that tutor.
Nice.
Yeah, so yes, you submerged the Sisay. Great. But still bad. You're still
absolutely.
They are in big trouble here because luckily Kinnan doesn't activate when Relic taps a
creature. It's only
creature.
when Relic taps itself.
But he still has every bit of mana he needs to do that and cast Sisay.
Absolutely,
more than enough.
And Sisay now, since it was submerged, doesn't have the commander tax, and so you're able to put Sisay out relatively quickly, and there it is, right back out.
So he's floating a green and a white, because remember, Kraum's tapped for 2 because of Kinnan. So he has a white and a green floating. Easily has enough for a Sisay activation, and a Sisay on 4. Right? So he could get Teferi here, which wouldn't do much.
I was worried that he didn't show the one floating from the Chrome Mox, and so I was worried that he missed it, but he was able. They did talk it out, and he has 1 white and 1 green floating from the Cradle and the Chrome Mox respectively.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to.
Does he get 2 activations off this though? Right. So he has a green and a white floating.
Justice. Okay, I was about to say Justice is holding up his cards like he's gonna respond again, but it was just a mana indicator, so we'll see what he's going to do.
Energies. You like using energies for floating your mana?
No.
Okay. That was a very quick no.
Just because I don't have any Pokemon cards. My son has a bunch of Pokemon cards, but I prefer foily stuff, and so I go for foil lands.
So he passes with a Sisay activation available to him at any time.
Yes.
That's scary. Scary thought, but understandable.
100%.
Yeah, he's going to want to end step tutor that Teferi if he can, just to lock people out. But Nezahal getting to go to his turn right now, right? Interestingly enough, Spellskite actually stops Derevi.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so Derevi ain't an option anymore.
All right.
So we got lost a life off the One Ring,
and he drew 2 more off of the One Ring. So Nezahal is sitting at half of his deck in his hand right now, and Jesus, tapping 6.
6.
There's Mind Over Matter. This is game if nobody can stop it.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay. What is? Remind the crowd what Mind Over Matter does, please.
So Mind Over Matter, if I remember correctly. Oh wait, hold on. I was remembering incorrectly.
You know what's crazy about that with the Spellskite out, Nezahal, a lot of interaction. I bet he has interaction in his hand. You know he does. He does.
All right, so Mind Over Matter says choose and discard a card, tap or untap target artifact, creature, or land.
Okay, so he discards a card.
He discards a card and untaps with the One Ring.
No, that's wild.
Yeah.
Old cards, they're never broken, right? And we have an
intuition on the stack.
All right, so intuition on the stack. If you're Blue Farm, you go ahead and get what? Savine's Wreck, Underworld Breach, and a counterspell.
I don't think that you go get. I think you go get 3 counterspells here. This is your or a removal spell for Mind Over Matter. The unfortunate thing is this was done with Mind Over Matter on the stack, and so you have to go get a counterspell.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least one of the cards that you go and get has to be the counterspell, or a counterspell. And I think at this point, we have to go get a Mind Break Trap. You have enough to...
Does he have enough to cast it?
No, now he doesn't because of the intuition.
Yeah.
So it's got to be... Because 3 spells haven't been cast because Mom was the first one cast. So... And who is he targeting? That's a good point, Guilty. Who is he targeting with the intuition? Do you target the Nezi player and just say, choose your death statement? You know what I mean?
Do I do that? No. Because Cole is just too good of a player to like, oh, well, there's also a counterspell, question mark.
Looks like...
That's a new card, is it not?
It's an Outlaws card. Or not an Outlaw specific card, but it is from Outlaws.
He had to pitch 2 blue cards to cast it.
I wonder if it's a Commandeer.
Oh my! Was Commandeer in
Yes.
Outlaws? So we have Mind Over Matter, we have Intuition on the stack, and a Commandeer in his hand. Which we knew he had some sort of interaction, right? Commandeer on the Intuition, which is just overkill. If it resolves, like it's over.
Yeah, if this Commandeer resolves, that's game over.
We got that. No, remember that Fluster Storm we talked about? Bam, comes into play now.
There it is.
There's that Fluster Storm we talked about earlier, and that's a Kraum trigger for the draw, right?
But it's also a Nezi trigger for both Blue Farm and
Nezahal.
Blue Farm, Nezahal, and Sisay, because remember that Metamorph is also...
Oh my gosh, that's right.
So...
Yo, look at the guy without the Nezahal. Okay, so now the stack clears. He can't pay for the Fluster Storm because that's, what, the 3rd spell, 4th spell on the stack?
Yep.
So he can't pay for it. But that does not mean he doesn't have it. I know Cole. I don't. He has something else up his sleeve.
He absolutely has something up his sleeve.
And if not, he's still sitting pretty.
Oh, and here's a Spell Pierce from the other Blue Farm. I'm assuming that it's targeting the...
Oh, no,
it's a Force of Will pitching the Spell Pierce. What are you countering with the Force of Will? Because...
Yeah, you make the Intuition guy have it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, maybe he's, Maybe I'm not the one good with the spice today.
Because if you counter the Mind Over Matter, Intuition just goes and gets the win now.
Yeah. There's nothing to stop him from doing that.
Absolutely.
I will say, guys, this is a really crazy board state. This is why I play cEDH right here. More game actions and more things on the board doing something. And this was a fairly slow game.
Yeah.
Like, overall. Look at how much is happening on the board. This is why we play cEDH, right? Or Nezahal wins.
For Nezi wins.
For Nezi wins. Yeah, I'm really questioning this Force of Will. Because he's certainly not targeting the Intuition, is he?
No, he
that's
can't.
That's wild. No, stop it.
Is he?
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop
he
it.
Targeted the
Stop
Intuition.
It. No.
Does that mean he has a counter spell for the Mind Over Matter?
It doesn't matter. You still like that. No way. You wouldn't counter the Intuition first though. This is like you said. This is win on board.
Yeah, 100%. He has plenty of cards to.
Jerry, no.
He has plenty of cards to go infinite with Mind Over Matter in one ring.
Don't disappoint Downey like this.
Oh no! Yes, we feel the same way, Lone Wolf.
Yeah.
And there's the red elemental blast.
But okay,
maybe there was some table talk going on, like I can't let you have this Intuition. Okay, well I have another counter spell. Okay, then I'm going to counter your Intuition if you have something else for it.
Yeah, but see, the risky part about that is that Cole could still have a mental misstep.
Absolutely. And he's tapping a mana.
Oh my gosh.
There's a miscast.
See, this is what we're talking about, guys. This is exactly what I was saying. Cole had it. He knew he had it. That's a big, big blunder right there.
And that's another thing. He couldn't go, even with the Intuition, he couldn't have went and got removal for the Mind Over Matter because it would have just removed the spell skite.
Oh, and there's the Mind Break trap. But there's another draw, though. We have another draw. Does Cole
have the Mind Break?
Even if he does have the Mind Break, does he have anyone cast 3 spells? I think it's only 2 at this point. Or no. Fluster. Oh my gosh.
There's
he
a
has the
pact.
See, this is the thing, guys.
So Reeb, I'm assuming, obviously we're not out there to hear, but I'm assuming the Reeb was going after the mind over matter guilty.
Yeah, I mean that would be the only thing.
The Fluster targets went all to Commandeer.
Commandeer. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
But a pack gives 3 other players.
And
There's another mind break trap.
My gosh. Hey guys, I wonder if Blue's good in cEDH. I wonder if mind break trap's worth running.
And mind break trap, he said he's targeting all 3 of Justice's spells.
And the red
red elemental blast.
So key distinction, guys, with red elemental blast. Interestingly,
there's the mind break trap.
Oh my gosh, he had it again. Who casted 3 spells though? He casted. Blue Farm casted 2. Other Blue Farm casted 2.
There's a fierce.
And then he casted a fierce. Wow, look at the stack on this, guys. Wild amount of Magic being played right now. Again, who casted the mind break trap to unlock Cole?
Not sure.
I don't think he actually had the mind break trap.
Well, the fierce is going to counter it regardless.
Yeah, so we're back on the pact. Oh, he's letting the pact resolve? Question mark? No. If he lets the pact resolve, that's just a time walk at that point, right? Like he stops. What a stack! What a counter battle right there, guys! Heavy blows all the way around. Awesome work.
What is that?
That is a card.
It fizzles.
That is a card.
It's another Outlaws card.
Well, it's an artifact because he just put it into play tapped. So he's moving on. Yeah. Huge counter war, guys. Cole really did have it. What a risky play by Jerry, by the way.
Absolutely. Countering the intuition was spicy.
And a wheel here.
I do agree. I think it is the Torpor Orb. But I am double checking just to make sure.
Torpor Orb. Oh, look at this. Orcish Bowmaster with a wheel on the stack. All that interaction being used in that last flurry. This could do massive work.
Absolutely. That's 21 damage on the stack. That's basically going to take the other blue farm out of the game or take the Sisay.
It's going to take everyone's creatures away. Well, here's the thing, though. Spellskite.
Absolutely.
Right? So, do you redirect Spellskite? I mean, anything that hits your board, you redirect. Right? And you can stack this in a way so that Spellskite takes a ton of the hits.
Absolutely.
So, Nezahal will probably survive this, which is huge. And once again, we're wheeling right now. Fresh 7, right? Cole still has lots of cards in his hand, but a fresh 7 for everyone is definitely something to note. And he's tapped out. So, with the blue farm player being tapped out.
God, dude, that mind over matter was hot.
Yeah. Dude, he had so much backup for that.
Absolutely.
He had so much backup for that. I mean, that's just what he does. Yeah. Big shout out to our food vendor, Reggie Rock Jamaican Flava. I almost said Flava. What is happening now? Not Flava, Flava. Yeah, see, Spellskite eating all the triggers that are guilty. Alright? It will eat a lot, but it is 2 mana it's 2 life every time. So unless he wants to waste a lot of those triggers, it is the Torpor Orb.
Yes, it is the Torpor Orb.
See, yeah, doing the Lord's work, doing the research, doing the Lord's work. Cole Justice with the Torpor Orb out there. Another big one, because Orcish Bowmaster doesn't work now. Dockside doesn't work now, right? Which is another... Sisay is just getting trounced on, man.
So, does...
Who's actually tutoring right now, by the way. Sisay activation on the stack.
Is Torpor Orb one of the artifacts that has to be untapped for it to work?
It is not.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it does stop ETB's guilty, which is the dockside,
but it
huge.
also stops at Orcish Bowmasters from the ETB effect. And
what did he just tutor?
I am not sure what that is.
Oh, whatever it is. Oh, I think it has floating mana.
Mana symbols, okay.
Mana symbols. All right, I'm about to say, that's spicy. Oh, those are spicy.
Yeah, I like those a lot.
Yo, hold on. Back it up. Where do we get those, right? Actually, I really like my Italian basics.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Nah.
I like my Lost Caverns of Ixalan foil basics.
They're sick. Those are what? Arcade posts. Is that an online?
artist for
Oh, nice. Well, there you go. Those are sick. Reminds me a lot of Dark Souls. Little flasks. Yeah, that's sick. Estus. It would be, honestly, for just those two right there, I'd run an Izzet deck. It reminds me too much of Dark Souls. Those are mana symbols.
They're just representing mana.
They're representing floating mana.
They're arcade posts. Yeah, there you go, Guilty. They're tokens from arcade post.
Yo, Guilty with all the info, man. This boy's on it. More than Joe. Joe left us.
He did.
Yeah, Zorowski, that was nuts. That was nuts.
Hey, just in case anybody didn't know, they're tokens from arcade post.
Hey, what are they from?
I think they're tokens from arcade post.
Ooh, we have a Cutzel on the board, boys. But interesting, Cutzel with a Bowmaster and a Wheel of Fortune on the stack, which is interesting because it's just gonna die.
It's just gonna die. That's gonna be the number one target, 100%.
Kinnon's the number one target, man. And then
No,
the Phantasmal Image, and then Cutzel, and then.
No, I can worry about the Kinnon, I can worry about the Fimage, I can worry about all of that later. I'll probably point one at the Fimage just because it dies instantly.
Yeah.
But the Cutzel's number one because then everything else I can interact with. I can't interact with the Cutzel if it gets back to his turn.
I like that. You're like, look, that's for future Philip to realize. Not right now. Philip takes care of the Cutzel.
Absolutely.
Right now, Philip takes care of the Cutzel. And with tapped out mana, too. That's wild. Maybe with the floating white, he has a swords in his hand.
Maybe.
Or a chain of vapor, right, with the blue floating.
That way, if it targets the Cutzel, you can bounce it back to hand.
Well, not only that, ETB on the Orcish Bowmaster is, like, stocked.
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune on the stack, bounce it back to hand, or kill it. Then I don't have any more problems. It doesn't matter.
Oh, we have a Veil.
There we go. That's why he did that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Veil. That makes a lot more sense.
You can touch anything with my things now. I don't care. Sisay,
you do whatever you want to do.
This is why Sisay Clam Chowder has been like so powerful. Ooh, what's going on here?
Did the Veil resolve?
Veil is on the stack. Cutzel goes to grave. What put Cutzel to grave?
I wonder if it was the Nezi draws.
Oh. Cutzel's only a what? 2/3?
Yeah. Or a 2/2.
Yeah. He had 2.
Because remember, there's 3 different Nezahals that are out right now.
And a Kraum.
And a Kraum. Cutzel is a 3/3.
Okay, so that means 3 draws would have had to have happened to do that. That's crazy.
Well, you have a Kraum trigger on the Veil.
You had a...
And then you had a Nezahal trigger on the Veil.
Well, that means Orcish is out. That means Orcish is absolutely out. And there's a wheel on the stack. Right? And then he has his own Bowmasters out. Yo.
But again, the Torpor
standoff.
Absolutely, but the Torpor Orb definitely shuts it down a little bit from targeting the initial Bowmaster. But that's 42 damage now on board.
It's 42 damage, and the Veil I'm pretty sure resolved, which means his Orcish Bowmaster stays.
Yes.
Yeah, he literally, this is what's happening right now. 42 damage on board. Oh no. I think Justice goes. Justice for Gotham? No more? Let's see what happens, guys. The wheel is still on the stack, I believe, at this point. Nothing has happened. Orcish Bowmaster has a 4/4 token. He does not have a Veil of Summer on him, so he's fair game. Delany's fair game, so the other blue farmer is fair game. Sisay right now in a really strong position.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, Guilty, you're making a very solid point. They can absolutely kill 2 people right now.
When Orcish Bowmasters got spoiled, right? How much did that flip a lot of the game plans in cEDH?
I don't think it flipped it a whole lot. It obviously drove up the price of Shieldred the Apocalypse. Because now you're taking 3 damage, assuming you're taking 3 damage off of each draw. There's a silence.
Oh, the wheel resolved. This is what's happening. The wheel resolved. This is what was in his hand. He had a Breach, a Thassa's. Holy cow! Look at that hand.
And it shut off a whole bunch of Dork decks, which is why Kinnon is kind of falling off right now, because Kinnon relies on Dork mana and
Yeah.
rock mana.
So look at the hands that are being pitched right now. We have Ranger
Oh,
Captain.
Born Upon a Wind.
Born Upon the Wind. Oh, look at these hands.
Fluster. Crypt.
Oh, look at this guy.
My goodness.
Oh,
An
there's
Aven Interrupter. That
in
is
blue
hot.
Joe, I'm not saying I'm a fan, but I'm a fan. There's the
Teferi
there's the
and the
Derevi.
Derevi.
There you go.
Tyvar.
Tainted Pact, Cord of
Cord
Calling, and Air
and Arid
Mesa.
Mesa.
Really, look at the hands that we're pitching. And then
So
Nezahal.
Scalding Tarn.
Scalding Tarn.
2 islands, Cephalid,
Yo.
Ponify, Otawara, Cycrift, Offer, and a Trick Bind.
Yo, still, how much interaction?
How much interaction was in his hand after that giant counterspell war?
Still a lot. I think Justice was he was just locked and loaded, man. He just needed a couple more mana. He had it.
And that's what Nezahal does, dude. It's
So the Orcish Bowmaster triggers go on the stack for both of them right now,
Yep.
right? So what do you think you do as the blue farm player with the guy under Veil?
well, the big thing right now is Andrew's Bowmaster triggers are going to resolve first. However, they do resolve one at a time, and so, but Andrew's are going to resolve first, and so with his first trigger, he could point it at the other Bowmaster.
Yeah, but the triggers
that-
are already on the stack, right?
Yeah, that Bowmaster can't target his Bowmaster.
Oh, it's
And
under Veil anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, where do you point these? Where do you point them?
What would you do? I just point them all at. I just point them all at Cole.
You think?
No, I just think that'd be hilarious. That's not the good play. It's not the good play. It's the funny play.
I think for both of the
42 triggers on Delny.
Yep.
Get rid of the Delny.
100%.
Yeah.
That I'm getting rid of the Delny.
And that's it. That's it, though.
Just all of them on Delny.
All on Delny. Yeah, see?
There it is.
Called it. What do I say? What did I say, guys? See, there you go. There you go. I hope he didn't do that. That'd be... I've seen punts before, guys.
I want all of my triggers on that one card.
Yeah.
That card is a 1/1. All of them.
All of them. I will say, that would be like the biggest punt to ever punt.
Absolutely.
Recruit that man to the NFL, because that's a punter. that's what that is.
All right, so let's see where these
We're talking
targets
about
are going to go. Hit one Bowmaster and then the rest on Phillip. Wow. That's rude.
Yeah, wow. Even Phillip hits Phillip? That's wild. That's
I'm targeting
wild.
myself.
Can you actually do that? You can just target anyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yo.
It says any target.
Yo, spite him. Spite the play. So here's the thing as well, right?
Dude, could you imagine Rowan, Orcish Bowmaster, out into a wheel targeting yourself
Targeting yourself for
with
20.
21.
Yo. Are we saying we brewing? Is that what we're doing? Are we cooking again? Yeah, see, Phillip has to hit Sisay's board state under a veil, dude. They're all hexproof from black. So
Did we confirm that the veil resolved though?
I'm like 99.9% sure it did. I did
Let
not.
me go double check. I'll go make sure that the veil resolved.
Yeah.
That way we can.
Because if we're just saying this, it didn't happen. Yeah, it's like Ron Burgundy, man. While Corey is off doing that, right? We're still resolving triggers, right? And he's pointing. So, really solid board state. This was a really fun match so far, guys. That counter war, fantastic, right? Yeah, if it doesn't resolve, this is straightforward. I absolutely agree with you, Super. I absolutely agree. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Since Sisay's board is going to be so much better, Veil did resolve. So this is absolutely a thing. Sisay's board state will remain intact. So, not only that, right? He's going to have such a commanding board state at the end of this resolution. So we're going to start targeting people. Okay, so we have 7 to each person, right? There's 7 to each person, and then wiping boards.
Absolutely. The only board that stays up is Sisay's, and now Sisay, this is where you want to be if you're Sisay, because now nobody else can do anything but you.
Dude, unless there's authorical demonic concentration in Blue Farm's hand, like this is really
This is it.
This is it. With a fresh 7, plenty of mana, plenty of tutoring ability, right? Sisay's still at a 4/4.
And
right?
you have the seat 1 Blue Farm is completely tapped out. I'm assuming seat 2 Blue Farm is going to tap them. Okay, so we have a Chrome Mox.
Yeah, but see, remember, Nezahal.
Absolutely.
Still a thing. Still a thing. Now, interestingly enough, no Spellskite redirections. Not one for Nezahal on Cole. So that's interesting.
So we're showing 3 mana with Kraum
With the
Mox.
black.
Yep.
Now, is this an Oppo? Yes,
Yes,
sir.
it is.
Yes, sir. Gosh, like we've played it before. Oppo, huge. Would you have kept that open for the first tutor, or do you do it now while he's tapped out? I think that's right to do it while he's tapped out.
I don't know.
Because he's the only one drawing.
He's not showing two activations, and so I don't.
He is. He has two. He definitely has 2 activations on his turn. He has nothing now.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. I would do it right now. That way he can't activate in response to the Oppo.
You know what's interesting about Oppo hitting, right? This also prevents Cole from drawing off the One Ring. Because they know for a fact the moment he draws 3 cards, Oppo dies.
Yeah.
For sure. And then it's over.
Yeah.
And it's over. Unless Cole, again, the wizard he is, has something up his sleeve. Who knows? But
Maybe he has a removal spell. We saw the Pongify get pitched. So maybe he has
Maybe he does get
rapid hybridization or something like this.
that's a lizard, right? Rapid hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
the Pongify, but instead of giving you the
Monkey.
it gives you the frog lizard.
Yeah. Frog lizard.
Frog lizard, the frizzard, dude.
Dude. That needs
Fear
to be
the
a tribe.
frizzard.
Dude, he has to be. That has to be the new tribe.
Fear the frizzard.
Fear the Frizz. You got okay. Brewing that deck. Man, what's that one 5 mana like changeling?
Did
Commander?
Nezahal phase out?
No. Oh, it did. Remember, you could pitch cards, right? You could discard cards.
Yes.
For Nezahal to phase out. So there you go. That's why Spellskite didn't do anything. Nezahal comes back. What a play. Nezahal.
Discard 3 cards you were already wheeling, so you might as well go ahead and pitch them.
Yeah, because all the triggers go on the stack.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And then really solid. That's player removal. Yeah, that those tokens. Yeah, them's players removals for sure. Player removal is the best removal. That's
Absolutely.
What I've been told. That's what I've been told. Oh, is that a breach on the stack? It is a breach on the stack. Yo,
Breach on the stack,
breach on the stack with people tapped out.
but
What?
double Nezi though.
Nezzy. Here's the thing, though. They are tapped out. So unless they have free interaction with their hand, which was a lot of it spent, Mono Blue still has plenty, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see a force out of. I didn't see a force out of Nezahal.
I didn't see either force. I didn't see a fierce out of Nezi. We did see the fierce out of.
Oh, he's checking. He knows. Cole has interaction in his hand. He knows he has it. He's just seeing the line. Cole is really good at knowing decks and knowing lines. With what like with those. Oh, stop talking. Cole's really good at knowing lines. That's all you need to know.
He's really good at doing them too.
Yeah. But seriously, Cole, can help. He doesn't.
Yeah, I think that Cole has to have interaction here,
Yeah.
and I think you are absolutely correct. He was looking in the yard to verify what he needed to hit to make this go bye bye.
All right, so I really think that this breach right there, really into that breach, was clutch. Question is here, if this resolves, right, he has counter spells in his grave. Plenty of it. Lots of it.
But the other problem is he can't tutor.
He cannot tutor. So does he already have it in his hand is the question.
But it
Brain freeze and LED. Or Lion's Eye.
LED is in the yard. I did see an LED in the yard.
So does he just have brain freeze?
Does he have the brain freeze? And that's where this is going to come down to, because you're not or do you have removal for the Oppo? That's what this is going to come down to, because you can't gamble for it, because then your gamble is going to get stolen.
Okay. All right. Want to make a bet right here? Cole bounces the Underworld Breach with something on the stack? Or someone removes the Underworld Breach with the LED on the stack?
My question is, what free bounce spell do we have?
Submerge was the only one I can think of,
Submerge, he already used it.
which he already used. So, well, here's the LED from the grave. Pitching. Mana. Mana and mana. So he doesn't care about the mana, obviously, because LED, right? That's what we're thinking. He also, remember, he had his fresh grip of 7. So he's going to pitch more cards right now and go to his graveyard. Okay? Huge, huge wheel right there. This is why wheeling with nothing else to do is so risky, right?
Absolutely.
It's so risky. Rockside players don't care, but most people care.
No, dude, we're wheel druggies, dude. I'm just trying to wheel everything.
I'm so glad you're not on Rockside anymore. It just stresses me out. I just sit there sweating. It'd be 20 degrees. I'm still sweating for you.
Like
Okay.
a turn 1 demonic consultation
No,
for
my
mana
God.
crypt.
No, that's a top tier play. I don't care what
Absolutely.
anyone says. Zane would do it. He would. I've seen it.
I've seen it
seen
with my own 2 looking holes. All right, so looks like we have another OBM trigger on the
Yeah, 'cause
Nezahal draw for the LED.
So is he just going to start pinking down Jerry here? What do you think? What would you start targeting with the Orcish Bowmaster?
I think you have to start pinging down Jerry. You can't hit the Nezahal.
And you certainly can't hit the
Oppo, because if you hit the Oppo, the game's over. Because they have shown that they have enough in their yard.
Well, they have enough in their yard without a tutor, is what they're thinking, right? Because you don't breach for value.
No, this is not a value play. You've asked me to breach for value before.
I have. And how did that go for you?
It didn't go very well
Got it.
because I attempted to not breach for value, and you stopped me, and that was unfortunate. I should have just went for value.
No one ever
But-
expects Mardu to have it. Listen now, chat. We don't. We don't have it. But we will still feign like we do. Promise.
All right, so
So LED resolved. So he cracked LED.
and now it's back on the stack.
Now it's back on this. Well, he cracked LED. What did he pitch? Or he didn't crack it yet.
This is the second LED, I think.
Yeah, this is the LED. No.
Yeah, this is second LED because he has the mana symbols up top, but he doesn't have anything showing.
Right. I don't think he pitched his hand yet. Yes, he still has his hand. So he cast the LED. This is
But he already exiled the cards.
yeah, that's casting the LED. Right. He had it engrave.
Tapping 3.
Tapping 3 for a
It can't
Ranger?
be a born. It can't be a born.
give me a ranger. Show me the ranger.
Jessica's will.
Jessica's will with no commander out.
So you're just looking for the mana.
Yeah, that's a mana play for sure. For sure. Who's he targeting though? That's the question. Cole
You
has
got to
9.
target Cole.
Yeah, I mean Cole has at least 9 in hand. Right? Oh, he's speaking the spirit. Bye, spirit. Bye. Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Jesus. All right, and depending on, or does he do this to the top? Yeah, he's doing it for the top. That way he can
Wow.
he tutors without tutoring.
I mean, he sees more cards. That's for sure. And it looks like to me he only got mana out of that. I don't think that's what he wanted.
No, I think that's the exact opposite of what he wanted.
That, in fact, was not what he wanted.
But you use the
But you use the Mox Diamond to pitch more to the grave, right?
absolutely. But you don't need to. You have LED. Why do you need to pitch something to the grave?
Because
Now you could put the Mox Diamond into the grave with just playing it since it's for free and putting it straight into the
oh
yard.
no,
because
I would
you're-
keep it open for a blue mana. He has a Flusterstorm in the grave right now, right? Just keeping that
yes.
blue open just in case Nezahal does something spicy, right? Have you tried that new bird, by the way? I've heard good things.
I've heard great things, but I have yet to try it.
I think he played
I'm running Sans White right now.
I think he played the Jewel Lotus to crack it to put it in the grave so he can exile it. Or he's just leaving it in exile. I can't tell what he's doing right now. Yeah, those are still in exile. Like they're not exiled from.
What is he pitching for the Mox Diamond?
No, those are still in. I think those are still in exile right now. Is thinking of things.
He pitches the Verdant Catacombs.
Okay, we're in Catacombs. Still hasn't cracked the LED. So he's digging. This dude is digging. I think he thought this was his window, which he's probably right. Like, full transparency, he's probably right.
At this point, it has to be his window. Sisay's completely tapped out.
It's not getting back to him.
No.
You know, that's
just like the last game. I think he has to manifest his window, and that's what he's doing right now.
This is a new
There's
card.
a high noon.
That is high noon. Is that the one with? Is that the,
yeah? That's the one that it can blow itself up.
That's that's the
rule of law.
The rule of law. That's spicy. What is Blue Farm doing? That it's a rule of law in Blue Farm.
Each player can't cast more than one spell
On himself? Or is he, hear me out, is he blowing up the oppo?
He might be.
It's 5 damage, right?
Yep.
Spell Sky's gone.
You blow up the oppo.
I mean, if you have a tutor in your graveyard, absolutely.
Super ones. Welp.
Well,
I think this has to be pointed at the oppo.
yeah. Or, yeah.
Himself.
Yeah, yo. And
We're
then
playing,
Rowan.
Rowan still.
Rowan will, honestly, man, I'm actually really, like, kind of bummed that you're not on Rowan because you, like, really made that deck and it got a lot of attention. And it's just really tough to play.
It is. Having to do it at sorcery speed really shut that deck down. And there was a lot of times where
Makes me so sad.
where I would go to activate it and then it gets removed and yeah, looks like we're blowing up. Oh no,
He just left it out.
he passed turn.
He passed turn. You know what that tells me, though, right? He's got some. Well, wait.
No, that means Sisay's just going to win the game now.
Well,
because
Sisay has to get rid of oppo, right?
Yeah, but it's Sisay. It has ways to get rid of oppo.
It does. It does. And he has a lot. And remember, a fresh 7. Right?
He does have a fresh 7, and there's a cradle.
And there is a cradle. He did use his Veil of Summer, though, to like protect his board state.
Yeah, super. We're also confused.
Yeah.
Maybe he casts the high noon to hope that it gets back to his turn.
Yeah,
is the only thing that I can think of.
Legitimately, it was install tactic, and he's hoping. Oh, here's another thing: if he blows up, or if he targets the oppo with something, right, and someone else counters it, that's it. It's over. Like he has to pass turn around, so he gets one shot, one opportunity. Sees every oppo he ever wanted in one moment.
Do you hear this? This is the stuff I have to deal with on a daily basis.
That's why you hired me, here.
This is it. So with the high noon,
such a good card.
Okay, how about this? So Sisay goes to blow up the oppo. You use the high noon to blow up the Sisay.
You could definitely do that, but he has enough mana to recast it.
But does he have enough mana to recast it, cast a removal for oppo, and have an activation?
Okay, he has right now, how much showing? He has. So you tap the cradle. I mean, yeah, remember, Sisay never died.
2, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
He has plenty of mana. Never mind.
Yeah. Blow up the Sisay. Okay. Rolls.
Cast Sisay.
Cast Sisay. Do the tutor.
Activate Sisay.
I don't know if you guys know this, but that's how you win with Sisay.
That's crazy.
That's wild. Okay, so he definitely tapped for mana with a lot of his dudes, right? The question is, does he think that this gets around the oppo? And no. What is happening right here? He is showing his hand.
I think he's just showing that he has nothing to stop it.
Yeah. I mean, he has a mental misstep, right?
Looks like we're gonna scoop to Sisay.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. They are.
Why are they scooping the Sisay though? Oh, he's channeling the.
Doesn't even need to cast anything.
Yeah.
Great job, Sisay.
Yeah, Sisay. This is the clam chowder version, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, clam chowder Sisay gets there. Clam chowder Sisay.
Looks like we had a handshake.
Much.
Looks like we had an attempt at a handshake.
Philip, obviously very disappointed. I would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He had by far the strongest start and was just unable to get going.
Especially the fact that like you had the wheel, like he did the move to do it, right? He did the move that would put him in the best board state, and then to say just has it.
Oh no, Philip is still in the game. He killed Jerry and Cole.
Okay. But how? And
Let's go find out.
yeah, well, hold on. They're still playing it out. They're still playing it out right here. Oppo's gone.
I'm gonna go ask Cole since Cole is out.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So I think he wants him to play it out, like legitimately wants to play it out, right? So he has the floating mana. Those are really cool. By RK Post, by the way. Yeah, so swung to kill people with interaction. All right, that's definitely the move that he went for right there. Very, very strong to get more removal off the board. Absolutely has. He's floating the mana. Okay, Sisay activation. They're still playing it out.
Yeah. So Cole and Philip
Die to combat.
Cole and Jerry both.
Die to combat.
They both came to unfortunate ends to Bowmasters.
Bowmaster, yeah. Bowmaster do that thing sometimes, right? And he couldn't do it to Philip because Philip also has a 28-28 on the board.
Yes,
So-
but that leaves Philip wide open now. But he does have a bunch of mana, and so maybe we see a Sisay activation here.
Oh no, he definitely did his activation stack. So the question is, what does he do? Because Teferi's gone, right?
Yep.
Teferi's not there, and he can't tutor.
There's
so
Aminatu.
Aminatu does what for him now? Okay, so Aminatu is the flicker, right? So
You flicker the Phyrexian Metamorph. No, because the army is 1/1 counters, and so it wouldn't re-ETB with the same amount of 1/1 counters. So, do you? What are you Aminatuing?
Arcane Signet, Relic of Legends, something of that nature. He has another activation on the stack, right? So, activation here. I mean, it's not just Nicol Bolas, because he needs Oath of Teferi to do the infinite, right? So, he is doing another Sisay activation. How hot do you think you can get in your card? Start game. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did get Bolas. He got Bolas. And he can flicker Aminatu right now, back and forth, back and forth. The question is, though, right? What does he do with it? The spicy looking Bolas.
Oh, maybe he doesn't get the bolus.
No, he's just showing. I have it in the deck. Like, yeah, we know you have it in the deck. Dahada.
That's kind of hot. Going to get Dahada.
Dahada will get him 2 more activations.
Yeah. Does he?
I mean, that's what I would do. Right there.
I think you are 100% correct.
Yeah, you
because
get
that
2
goes
more-
and gets you Nicol Bolas and
Oath of Teferi.
And Oath of Teferi.
And then Aminatu flickers Dahada.
Yeah.
And then he gets 2 more activations.
That's game.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
He
Okay.
puts all of those in the yard.
The only thing that would stop that, right, is if Oath of Teferi went to the grave.
I did not see it in the yard.
Yeah. So, like, if Nicol Bolas or Oath of Teferi went to the grave from the Dahada activation, right, then they're like, okay, now this line has to get a little bit more complicated. But right now, I think this is pretty straightforward, right? And keeping in mind, by the way, Philip is still, like, chilling.
Well, no, because even if he reveals it with Dahada, you can put them into your hand. They are legendaries.
So okay, yeah. So he gets Bolas. Okay, then he would just flicker Aminatu, get more mana anyways. And
Yep.
Then, yeah. I mean, yeah. This is pretty much done. He gets to flicker the Dahada. He did it again, right? Because the Bolas couldn't do that. So yeah, he has.
He's just looking for Oath of Teferi at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he has more than enough mana to do what he needs to do to win.
Absolutely. And there's not... Blue Farm can't do anything to stop him at this point because nothing is being cast. There it is.
Yeah.
And there's a Saheeli. Not that we even needed Saheeli. There it is.
There it is.
Good job, Sisay.
Yep, Sisay gets there. You know, I will say, how often does Sisay just sit on the board for people?
That was a great game.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
I mean, that counter battle was sick.
Absolutely.
That was sick.
When I went out there to talk to him about the Veil and see what was going on in between, I talked to Cole and I told him, I was like, dude, that commandeer,
That was spicy.
that was ridiculous. I do want to get clarification on the intuition and see where that force of will was going, if it did counter the intuition. But since he didn't search, I'm going to assume that it did go to the intuition, and that kind of sucks. Ban OBM. No.
Look, I hate OBM. Like with
it is the
passion,
bane of my existence.
with a passion. It's not ban worthy though.
No, not at all.
It's not. Like you ban Dockside. Oh, what's good? What's good, bud? What's good? OBM. How many times has the game revolved around OBM after it comes out? Like legitimately.
Every time.
Look,
I disagree. I don't think it's ban worthy.
it's one of those cards where like I hate running it, but you can't not run it.
Absolutely. I if we're gonna talk about banning OBM, I think we also have to have the same conversation with Dockside.
Yeah, I mean Dockside is ban nothing, add Hole Breacher. That's the real
Add prime time.
Yo,
give me prime time
he did
and
nothing
fast
wrong.
bond.
He did
prime
nothing.
time and fast bond, and we'll have a great time.
Prime Time did nothing wrong. He was a good boy, got you your lands, and then people got mad, and then he's gone.
Okay, hot take. Unban Tolarian Academy and everything will be okay.
You know what? Yeah, why not? But let's make Boom Farm even better.
Unban Tolarian Academy and everything is perfect.
Yeah, when we were just talking about Dockside, right? So I Dockside Tolarian Academy now taps for
52.
yeah. Still not enough to win though.
There you go. Too far.
There's a line. We crossed it.
All right, we're gonna jump off of here for a couple minutes. We're gonna go see if we can't get an interview with the winner,
Absolutely.
and we will be right back.
Do you want to do the interview with me?
It's up to you. Cool. I need to
Okay.
get this.